Is it possible to get into agriculture with as little as 100,000 naira? And the answer is, of course, of course.
Joshua Joseph.
In this video, I'm going to be showing you that in agriculture, when coming into agriculture, you don't need to have millions and millions of naira. With as little as 100,000 naira, you can venture into agriculture. Welcome everybody. In case you're just meeting me for the first time, my name is Joshua Joseph, and I love agriculture. I love farming. I started with palm kernel shell trading. I trade palm kernel shell, and it's a very, very profitable venture. It's a very, very profitable business if you know your way around it, right? With as little as 100,000 naira, you can start, and I'm going to show you how you can do this. One business that is often underrated that many people are not talking about is palm kernel shell trading. And how does this work? Palm kernel shell is the cover of the palm kernel. You see palm kernel, that part that you break, that's palm kernel shell. So lots of companies buy this kernel shell to use them as biomass in different factories and things like that. You have people in companies from Asia buying it, so they have different companies that buy here from local people, from local suppliers, and then sell it, export it internationally. So it's a big business that's often underrated. So how can you get into palm kernel shell trading as little as 100,000 naira? And the first thing is you need to look at the supplier, and you have the customers. You have the supplier, you have the customers. Now the customers are those agents. Now you cannot go directly to the company like that. So those agents who are buying for the companies, you have that side. You have the suppliers, which are the farmers. Now the first thing that you need is your bags. But you can approach these agents and tell them that you want to sell kernel shell if they are ready to pay for the transport and for the logistics. So many of them are going to agree to that. That's the industry norms. That's what happens most times. So you go and you meet with some people who are selling all these bags. That's one option. You can discuss with them and say, okay, I'm going to pay you. Just hold something, hold one of my property, hold my laptop, hold my phone, or something like that. Something you can give to them as to know that in case you don't come back, they can hold. You understand? So you tell them that, okay, I want to collect maybe 400 bags for a short drop. I want to use a short drop to start. Now you carry the bags. If you're able to get the bags for free, nothing. So you just carry the bags. That's one option. Or you can also rent bags. You can meet people who are already in the business and discuss one of them. Those who have extra bags, you can discuss them and say, okay, I know I just want to rent this your bags. Maybe I'm going to pay you 10%, I'm going to pay you 20%, I'm going to pay you 30% of the profit when I'm back. So many of them are going to agree to that if they have spare bags. Now you take these bags, now you go and then you discuss with so many suppliers, so many villagers who are selling this kernel shell, because some people are not even using it. You understand? It's just there. So you go and then you get the kernel shell and then you pay the boys. So many boys do day jobs. You have some locals, you have some people who are doing day jobs. You pay them like 5,000 naira, 6,000, 7,000 naira per day. You understand? If you get two people, you can pay them for 2 days, because 350 bags is not a lot. That's what they have the normal short truck carries. So you get these boys, and then they are able to put it in the bag. You have your shovel and then your rubbers, which some of them are going to use. You put it in the bag, fill it up, sew it, and then you have 350 bags. You pay them. That's about 7,000 naira for two of them for 2 days. That's about 28,000 naira. So from there, you already have your shells, and you can get the shells by speaking to the villagers and saying, okay, I'm having this thing, just let me bag it. So when that's done, you can call let's say you buy kernel shell. Most kernel shells in different places are, depending on the distance, the logistics distance, in terms of you hauling it out, using bags to haul out and things like that. So some people may charge like 400, 300, 500, depending on which it is. And for 350 bags, then you can call when you are done with everything, you've arranged all the bags, 350 bags, then you can make inquiry with all these people all these truckers. They have so many truckers. You can call some of the drivers and say, okay, I'm ready to load. I have this amount of shells on ground. Then you make inquiry with one of the agents that you've met before. They can send funds. As long as you build trust, and in business you always have to get that trust first. Get them to pay for the truck. They send the money for you, you haul them out, and then you can take the goods and then go and sell. most things in business is your ability to build trust, especially in anything that involves trading. So most times agents are willing to pay for the truck and they're willing to send you some money for expenses, depending on how you build your trust with them. All you need to do is to pay for the people who are going to get the bags, who are going to work on carnage, who are going to load them, discuss with the villagers, let them have something that make them know that yes, you are coming back. And that's one thing. Then also, those are the major expenses. Then the person who's going to haul out, you're going to give that person some funds. Maybe some people haul out for like 150, 200 naira, depending on the place. So with 30,000 naira, you can haul out large number of shells. All is left for you is to pay for the shells, which money you can get. If you buy the bags, 300 naira, that's 90,000 naira. The agent can pay for that truck, depending on how far the place is. You can pay for the truck, but you have to calculate the amount of truck. So many agents are not willing to pay large amounts of money for far distances, like places like Bayelsa and Port Harcourt. So for places like from Delta, like from Edo, from Ondo down like that, so they can do these businesses. So that's that. What can shell business. Another business that is so underrated is snail farming. Snail farming is one business that can be done with as little as 100,000 naira. It doesn't require much land. You can even do it in your backyard. All you need to do is just to have that consistency and to be very determined. And snail is something that is in large demand in locally and internationally. So many hotels, so many restaurants, Nigerians in diaspora or so many Africans in diaspora are looking to purchase snails. So it's a very nice venture that you can venture into. There are different species of snails that can be sold in Nigeria, and Ajatina marginata is one of the major recommended species that is often being sold. How can you maximize this 100,000 naira to achieve your profit at the end of the month or at the end of your business cycle? Now, the first thing that you must do in terms of snail farming is to get a place where you put these snails. And so you can do this by building a small pen made of wood, of concrete, or even old tires. You can use this place, and then from there you can purchase up to about 30 to 40 small breeders of Achatina marginata, and then you put these snails into the pen that you've created for them, and then you provide the necessary food that they will need to survive, like small vegetables and then plantain peels and different things like that snails can use for their feeding. Then with everything you can spend up to about 80 to 90,000 naira. Also, when you are building this pen, you must ensure that you have a good drainage system, because most times snails do not like waterlogged areas, so you have to make sure that place is free of water. Then also you have to provide the necessary food for them, like you need to provide things like vegetables, pawpaw leaves, plantain leaves and things like that for them to chew on, cucumber and things like that. So with all those things they will feed. And then also ensure that you maintain clean environment, because that's how the snails will be able to survive for a long period of time, maintaining clean environment. One snail can lay up to about 100 to 200 eggs per cycle, and with these 100 to 200 eggs you can have hundreds and hundreds of snails just from the 30 or 40 snails that you had at the beginning, which have laid hundreds and hundreds of eggs per cycle. And then one mature eggs, depending on the ones that survive, one mature egg can sell for as high as 800 to 1,000 to 2,000 naira, depending on how mature they are. So you can see that your business can grow just from 100,000 naira that you started this snail venture. And also remember to also purchase your snails, the snails you need to start the right species, and also from good farmers who have been in the game for a while, who understand what they are selling to you. So with this you can sell the snails to hotels, to restaurants, and as you grow you can even start exporting the snails. Another business that you can start with as little as 100,000 naira is maize farming. Very very versatile crop. Corn, maize is a very demanded crop. It's a very demanded crop, and just it needs a cycle of maturity cycle of about 3 to about 4 months. With that you already have your maize farm, your corn farm ready. So all you need to do is to be able to get land, You know, this is something that some people give in different places. You can rent one plot at 50 to 50, 50 by 50. You can rent that plot for, some people give 10,000 naira, some people can give it for 20,000 naira. You rent that land, then you need to prepare that land by clearing and preparation, do all those things like that. You can get somebody to clear it for you, or you can clear it by yourself. But generally, you can get somebody to clear it for you. Some people can do day jobs, and then they are done clearing the farm with 5,000 naira per day. You're done clearing the farm, or 2 days. You're done clearing the land. Then from there, you need to purchase the maize, the crop, the seeds itself. You purchase good seeds, and then you plant those seeds. And you also need to pay for labor for people who are going to be planting and then weeding, all those things like that throughout this month period. And then with that, you're able to get a nice maize farm that you can harvest after like 3 to 4 months. Also, another thing that you also need to purchase is fertilizers that you can purchase for as little as 7,000 naira, 8,000, 10,000 naira. You've purchased the right fertilizers for your maize crop. Then you also need to ensure other things like personnel or record keeping. Those expenses are not more than 100,000 naira, and with that, you can start your maize farm. And in 4 months, you've started reaping the rewards. All the things that these farms require is consistency, discipline, patience. In agriculture, you talk about patience. So when planting, also ensure that you have a good land. Don't farm in places that will not be profitable to you. You have to get good lands. Also, you have to ensure the proper spacing technique. Don't be too greedy and don't be too lazy. You have to get the right proper spacing for the maize. And you need to uproot the cobs when they are matured after like 3 to 4 months. And so also don't plant when it's late, when it's not the right season. You have to plant when it's the right season. I told you can plant even multiple times in a year. Just don't plant when it's the wrong season. You know, at the end of the 4 month period, you can have a plot, you can see up to about 8 bags, up to about 9 bags, and one of these bags can sell for about 15, 18,000 naira, 20,000 naira. So all you can see that at the end of 4 months, you can keep a nice profit for yourself, if not even double the amount of money that you invested in the business. So you can do this multiple times in a year, and then you see that you can start keeping something for yourself, and you can start expanding to different sizes of lands, and getting more per plot. So those are various things that you can do. There are different businesses that you can do with as little as 100,000. All it requires is your sense, your brain. You just have to think about it and say, what can I do? What do I need to do that I will not require money at this point in time? Can I talk to someone? Can I speak to someone? Can I tell somebody to borrow me this thing? Can I tell someone to help me with this thing? What knowledge do I need to have? What system do I need to put in place? It's not just about the money, it's about your system, it's about your structure and your determination. You understand? So as a student, you can start maize farming in your school. You can start it, you can discuss with some of your discuss with your management or your lecturer or something like that. Just by the roadside, you can start maize farm, you can start cassava farm, you can start charcoal trading and things like this. These are all businesses that require as little as not more than 100,000 naira to start. All you need to is to have a brain and a determined mind, and with that you're going to excel in your business. So business agriculture is something that anybody can venture into. You don't need to have millions of naira, you don't need to take a loan of 200 million naira. You can start just where you are. From canning shell trading, that's going to be a little bit more technical, but you can still do that because it involves quite a huge logistics. But you can start with maize farming, you can start with snail farming. These are things that you can all start in your environment. In this channel, we talk about different agricultural processes, different things that you can venture into. We talk about agricultural education. We also provide entertainment and things like that. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, and share to someone. And I would like to see you in the next video. Success.